Hello my crafty friends. I wanted to make a video and share with you today. I have spent my weekend crafting. Woohoo! That's always a good weekend. And playing down here in my hobby room. And before I go any further, let me just say I have allergies. So if I sound like a woman who can't breathe, you know why. I'm sorry. I will try to breathe evenly and well as I videotape this, but I can't make any promises. So I spent the weekend creating with a Pinkfresh dye that I just am like astounded by the simplicity of it because it is so versatile. This is the dye I'm talking about. This is the Pinkfresh color block stripe dye. And this particular one does 1/4 inch strips, straight 1/4 inch strips. If you ever tried to cut a 1/4 inch on, like, you know, unless you get an X-Acto knife and a ruler and then it slips and oh, you just can't do it. So this creates the strips all at once, creates a whole bunch at once. I think there's 10 of them. Yeah, 10 of them on here. And it creates these lovely pieces here. So you can see a bunch of them. I've done a zillion of these, and you can use them, you know, stamp and emboss in white on these, or stack them together and create stripes and oh, so many fun things. And they actually have other dyes just like this one, but some that go diagonal. I think there's, you know, there's all kinds of them. You'll have to go look at their catalog. But anyways, so this is the one that I used. It's the rectangle, and I love it. A couple of things I did with them this weekend is, let's see, this one, which is not a die that's totally done, but you can see we did the stripes here, stamped the greeting. So simple, and so fast. It's amazing. This is a design in progress, but I don't know if you can see this. The lighting in here is good. I embossed these strips, and it looks like shiplap, like really cool shiplap. So I have some designs still to go on here, but that was my other idea. I thought that was fun. And the one that I'm going to show you in this video is actually using the negative space in this die. When you cut these all out, what's left is a very thin frame. And I really thought that was cool. So let me show you what I did. First, we're going to start with 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Voila, we cut in half. We cut in half again. And wham bam, we come up with pieces like this. So we're just going to use one of them. Actually, I'm going to show you in black because I think that might show up better on the video. We'll see. Maybe we'll do both. When you line this up, however, when you cut your sheet of paper into fourths, it gives you a square that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And when you line that up in here, it literally just fits inside the cutting line on this die. So it's a perfect fit, and it's a zero waste project, which is awesome. Who likes to waste cardstock? We pay for it and then we throw it away. No fun. So if you're a penny pincher like I am, here, maybe you can see that better. This doesn't waste anything. So you can die cut this in whatever way you see fit on whatever die cut system that you happen to use. Right now I'm going to use my Big Shot, and as you can see, this is very well loved. You can use your purple tape or whatever to prevent it from sliding, but for me, I actually haven't had any problem with that. So I'll just roll it out, roll it once that way, and roll it back just because I'm lazy and don't want to walk around the table to go get it. All right. When we're done, this is what we have. So if you've worked with dies very much, you know some of them don't come out easily. These come out super well. But like I said, what I'm looking at is the frame. Just going to pick up one corner here and pull this out. There, this piece. See this? Get this out of the way. This to me looks like some fine threads or strands that should be woven together. That was my concept. This is my execution. one. We have more of these. We have some in craft too, just because we want to get a pattern going. When I first started, I'll show you these crisscrossing this way. So you're going to line your, let me make sure you can see that, y'all can see that. You're going to line your frame up this way. And then with the next one, you're going to go, you want to line up this edge with the edge of your first one. Line it right up in the corner. So you line it up on this direction and you line it up in this direction. Oh, this one's a little loose. But what you have here, see that? Step one. I'm going to do this a little bit quicker to finish it up, but literally you're just layering these. The trick is though that this has to really stick. These are so fine. They're so fine and they have to stick. I love this glue. I use it for absolutely everything. Thank you, Gina K. And when I first started making these, this is what I was doing. But if you can imagine having to put a little dot of glue at every intersection of both of these sheets, it would be insane. It will drive you nuts. And it did drive me nuts. So I came up with a different way. So what you will need is, voila! Krylon spray adhesive. It needs to be permanent. It doesn't have to be Krylon. Any spray adhesive is going to work, but make sure it's permanent. This shows strong permanent bond. Repositionable adhesive will fall apart eventually because it's meant to be repositionable. It takes a long time for it to become permanent. This is just better. It just works better. Also, if you notice how clean this is not the one I normally work on, but this is my surface, and I want to keep it clean. So in order to do that and not get my spray adhesive all over it, I would highly recommend some wax paper. It won't stick. It won't stick, but it will give you a working surface. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to lay out your pieces that you cut. And I've got a few here. And then with this, you want a nice solid coat. You do not want, you do not want these to not stick. It makes them a little bit messy to start with, but get a nice solid coat on these. Okay, now they're sprayed. Slide them over here, and we'll use this as my work surface. Okay, so let's start again. Here is sheet one, right? Oh, this is sticky. Slide over here. Lay it flat as you can get it. Next coat. Line up your corners. So this corner with that corner. Let me see if I can get this over here. I forget. You all can see. Press, 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 press. Have to press after every step. Now, that's your first two layers. Your next layer is going to go, these stripes here are going to go right down the middle of these squares. So you're going to slightly offset. You're still going to line up your edge, but you're going to slightly offset. And this is going to line up on both ends, which just helps you to keep them straight. These are thin enough, they do kind of wobble, so you want to tack them down into place. Like you see, this one is warping out just a little bit. Let's lift that up, slide that back over. There we go. Done. Okay, layer 4 is going to go this way. So every layer changes direction. First layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer. And you offset each time after those first two layers. So this one, like I just said, is going to go this way. And these lines on this one are going to go in these black squares from the bottom, right down the middle of them. Like so. Press, 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 press. Can you, oops, sticky. Can you see that? How cool. How cool. It looks woven, but look how fast we did that. So cool. Okay. Now, if you want to really add depth and texture, I find that a 5th and 6th layer really, really makes it pop. So we're gonna do this. I'm fitting this in. Just look in your pattern and see where's an open space where you'll be able to see this color all the way down. That's what we're looking for. Then our last sheet is going to go over top, and it's also, oops, sticky side down. It's going to go this way. Let's pop this into place down here a little bit. Make sure we see it where we want to. Press as we go. Oops. And then if you need to, lift it and move it a little bit. Yeah, this one's got a bubble right there. Because it's not totally dry yet, we can usually still fix that and shift it just a tiny bit. There we go, better. Okay, press into place. And there we have it, folks. Now look what we have. There's our weaving. You can see there's lots of texture, there's lots of dimension in that. Let's see if I bring it closer. When you're done, you're going to trim off this edge and this edge, which actually leaves this little bit of fringe. I'm sure there's somebody out there who can come up with a cool idea to do some fringy parts with. But this square that's left is your weaving. It's about, I think, 4.5 inches. Yeah, 4.5 inches square. If you don't get enough adhesive on it, you may have to drop a little bit of this glue, just a thin line under the edges, just to hold it in place, but everything else should hold beautifully. And it really, really, really is cool. It's got a really warm feel to it. It's got a warm, natural, organic vibe to it. You can do this in lots of different ways. Let me show you a couple projects I did it in. This one is in a mix of, let's see if you can get it. This one's a mix of colors. It's white and a little bit of blue and a little bit of orange, and it just adds a nice woven texture to this one. I think the cool thing is you could do it in white or you could do it in craft. If you do it in all craft, it looks like burlap, and that would be a really cool texture to use. But you can do it in naturals, neutrals, and colors, or mix of both, whatever. So these are all Pinkfresh products. I did all of these for their Pinkfresh monthly challenge for July. This was the color scheme that they asked you to use. There's the strips that the die cuts out. Remember I told you that? And then here's the texture that I did with the leftovers to create this woven little bit right there. So that is what I have to share to you with you today. Here's one more. This is also a mix of the craft and the white and a little bit of robin's egg blue, I guess, in there. And it's really, 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 really cool. There's a warmth and I don't know, this makes me think of a nice, comfy, cozy couch that I just want to snuggle up on. So I just kind of get that vibe with it, but you may have different feelings on that, and of course that's fine. So anyways, I just hoped that you would be a little, I would hope that you're a little bit inspired by this. Maybe it would give you something different to think about with these dies that are so cool. Give us so many different options. One simple die. I've done a zillion things with it this weekend. So thank you, Pinkfresh, for good products. We love good products. And I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day. Bye.